Okay, to begin our lesson, let's open Google Sheets. You'll notice we have, if you have created any other sheets, they would all be listed here, and it's automatically saved for you. But you'll notice the names here. Let's click on this one that I named number 101. So let's click that. Now you'll notice this name up here. What if you wanted to change the name of your sheet or the name of whatever project you're working on? Well, you can just go up here and click on it and actually change the name. Let's say I wanted to call that 202 instead of 101. And now it's changed. But what we want to keep in mind is that when you close this sheet, it'll be saved as 202. This doesn't mean that there will be 101 existing somewhere and then the changed item that you were working on, 202, would also exist. It just means you actually changed the name. Now, if you wanted to actually save it as a different name, then you would go to File here. And you would click on Make a Copy. And you'll notice it says copy of number 202. Then you'd hit OK. So now you have a copy of 202, and you can easily change that to a copy of 101, or actually you want to have number 101, right? And it can be saved that way. So in this particular case, now you saved a copy that's going, and you might want to continue your work in this particular one. But if you just want to change the name and it's just going to continue with the same data and information in it, then all you have to do is go up and change that name. Now let's talk a little bit about cells and rows. Here you have, for example, the top here. You'll notice that these are columns and they're alphabetical, A, B, C, D, E, F, etc. And then you have rows on the left-hand side here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. So where these intersect is called the address or the cell address. Now this is the cell. Now you'll notice that when I click on this, you'll notice this number here in the corner, in the left-hand side here, changes because that is the address of that cell. This would be B, that is column B, row 4. This would be B, column B, row 2. So that's how we would have different addresses in these cells. To put information in this cell, all you have to do is type. And once it's clicked on that cell, you could either put a word in there or letters, or you can put, say, for example, a number, 1223, I put in there. Now, you'll notice that in each of these cells, when I click on that, over here in the formula bar, it will show the contents of that cell. So here I have 1223. It shows up here. See? If I click on here, the word would show up here in the formula bar. However, if I have a formula in there, it will show the formula, which is very important. Like, for example, let's create a formula here. I'm going to put equal, and then I'm going to, you can either click on this cell or whatever cell you want to point to, or you can use your arrow key. In this case, I'm going to use the arrow key. right? And that value of that cell is 1223, right? 1223. Okay, and there it's pointing to it, D4, right? I'm going to do that times 2 and then hit enter. And it gives me that the formula comes up with the result 2446, which is 2 times 1223. Well, when we click on this cell, that is B4, we see the letters that spell word. When we click on this cell, which is D4, we see that what's the contents of that cell, which is 1223. However, when we click on this cell, which is 2446, you'll notice it gives us the formula, which is equals D4 times 2. And of course, that is 2446. That is very useful, especially when you've been working on a project for a while and you're going back to that project. You may need to review or even change some of the formulas that you have there. And it's important to be able to look at that. Now, to change a cell, all you have to do is type right over it. Let's say, for example, I didn't want a formula in there. I just wanted to put the number 55 in there. Well, now, no formula, just 55. All you have to do is type. Okay, if by any chance and you haven't saved it yet, you made a mistake, you can just go up here to the arrow, the undo sign, click on it, and it goes back. Okay, so as long as you catch it in time, that isn't a problem. Here is something very important too. If you need to find the history of a cell, uh, let's say, for example, you have a team that's working on a particular project. Here's where Google Sheets is very helpful too, because you can click on any cell, and when you right click on it, you're able to go to Show Edit History. Click on that, and you'll see I entered that on June 5th at 7:13 p.m. And so that information is very helpful. If you're trying to debug something or find out why something isn't working, sometimes you're able to find who did it, when, or why, and it's very helpful. Or if you're trying to find out why something is working, you can you can do this as well. So being able to look at that cell history, especially when you're working with a team, is very important.